A special thank you to our great sponsors: Jack Burford Chevrolet, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble, Luxury Pets, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, Faith Created, Assembly of God Church, ScenicCabin.com, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, give Sean a call, Tatum Enterprises, Richmond Tourism, WKYT.com, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, First Gear, Prosigns, Berea Online, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. Madison County School Sports is proud to have Journey Auto and Boat Sales as the official sponsor of the Madison Central Marching Band on MCS TV. This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea.
Welcome to the Coach John Clark Show. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the head coach John Clark Show of Madison Southern Eagles.
If you want to learn about these guys, tune in to Madison County School Sports Television.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford here with Coach John Clark. We're at Cumberland Valley National Bank. We're happy to be here. It's, as we have said, it's right across the street, so it's easy for you to get here.
Very easy. Love the new location.
It is. It's fantastic. And we really want to thank them for welcoming us. They have to come in and open the bank up for us. So
We've really cashed in on this new location.
He's got more bank jokes. I do think they keep the vault locked so that we can't get in there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. So a lot to talk about. Since we last talked, wow, have things really changed?
Things are a little different now. It's a different football team on the field. The injury bug has run rampant through our football program. Unfortunately, it's part of what happens in football. It's hit us worse this year since the Southwestern game. Actually, since the beginning of the season. But it's a very different starting roster than it was week one, no question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I last interviewed you, we talked to Aaron Sipple, we talked to Damian Harris, we talked to you. Everybody was good, except the one guy that had the torn ACL.
Absolutely. Who was at the time our best offensive lineman.
Right.
So you kind of look back, and we talked about this as a staff this weekend. It can be very frustrating, but when you look at kind of how things rolled downhill after one injury. When Hutch Howard tears his ACL at the beginning of the season, we tried to replace him, but in order to do that properly, we had to move one of our better tight ends to tackle.
Okay.
So what you end up with is a kid that was playing tight end very, very well. You had a kid that was playing tackle very well. The tackle comes out.
Okay.
You move the tight end to tackle because he's your next best blocker. Well, now you have a kid at tackle who's better than the other options, but at the same time, he's still going to make mistakes because he's not a tackle.
Exactly.
And then you have to replace him with somebody else. So you pull somebody from the defensive side of the ball that's not played a lot at that position.
Yeah.
So now you have two positions that are weakened.
It's almost like they're freshmen.
Well, and that's the thing. Austin Beetlestone's done an unbelievable job moving to tackle. He really has. And for him to be willing to do that when he's being recruited as a tight end just tells you about the kind of kid he is, And he's done a great job.
Well, and they all think the world of you. So I can only imagine that if you say, we need you to move to this position.
And he did. And that's his character. You know, not all kids are going to be that way.
Yeah.
But he was willing to do that. Yeah, he's done a great job. But he'd be the first to tell you, is he still going to make mistakes because he has not played that position before? Absolutely.
Right.
So there's been mistakes there. Then Tristan Gyrod has to step in and play that second tight end position, which Tristan's done an outstanding job. But again, those two have only played those positions for about 2 weeks. So there's definitely growing pains in those positions. Last week in practice, J.D. Dean was not able to practice all week, given that he took a really big shot in his back at the
I was
Southwestern
surprised
game.
to see him back in this Pulaski game.
Yeah, a lot of people were, and I'll be honest, we didn't know all week if he was going to be healthy or not. It was definitely a game time, kind of see how he is Thursday. We ran him a little Thursday. He was sore, but he moved around pretty well, and it was kind of a game time deal. Was JD 100% Friday night? No.
Yeah.
But he was there. Obviously, Damien's out. So you look at your starting right tackle's out. Damien Harris is out. You've had to change 2 positions to fill 1. And then in order to, I mean, you can't replace Damien.
No.
You can't. Nobody in the country is going to replace an All-American running back.
Right.
And our entire offense obviously is geared around his abilities. We're replacing him by committee right now with 3 freshman running backs and a sophomore. There's a big difference between a 4th-year senior, 3 freshmen, and a sophomore. Great kids. They're learning. But you're going to have mistakes. You know, I can't tell you the last time Damien fumbled. And we had fumbleitis on Friday. So
you know, I can't remember it either.
I know, and that's the thing is he's
I don't ever remember us.
He's an outstanding player, you know, and so these guys are still learning where the cuts are in our offense and some of those things, and they've taken practice reps. Obviously, your starters in high school take the majority of your reps. They haven't taken a lot of game reps.
Yeah.
So, and the speed's faster than JV, so they're picking up on those things, and you know, it's just when you have 3 freshmen playing on offense and a sophomore. It's going to take a while. Had another injury this week. Lane Tincher took an ear hole shot from the side throughout the game that he didn't see coming, and he's out with a concussion this week. So now I've got to replace my starting center, who's arguably playing my best up front right now. So John Lamb.
How long a concussion?
Well,
just so everybody knows.
He's probably out
2
this
weeks,
week.
right?
He's probably back next week.
Okay.
As long as his return to play protocol goes correctly, he's probably back.
But he
next
has to
week.
get an excuse from. I mean,
Yeah,
the physician has to say yes, he's okay.
And he feels great. But you know, if you're going to take a hit like that, there's not a doctor anywhere that's going to clear you, even if you do feel great.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's so leery of head injuries at this point, regardless of how you feel.
Yeah.
So you know, on Friday night as a coach, now if a kid takes a hard hit, has to come out of the game for 1 play, he's out for a week. It's just the way the game's going now. Unfortunately, and they're doing it for protection purposes, I guess, but everything's not always that extreme. And if you've been around the game a long time, you know that. But sometimes it is, you know. So
right. You can always have that one case.
Absolutely. So that's another starter. So now you're down 3. John Lamb.
It's a lot. I'm trying to count it in my head.
John Lamb is a guy that the first 3-4 weeks of the season never came off the field. Starting receiver, starting corner, punter on all special teams. John gets a low snap in the game, takes a knee to get the snap, whistle blows him dead. As he goes to stands up, he gets cremated. All right, breaks his collarbone by 2 guys.
2 guys, yeah.
Breaks his collarbone. I mean, it was very late hit. Breaks his collarbone. He's out for the season.
And I don't think they called that play, so that's what's disturbing. We won't get into all that, but that's.
I have no comment per my bosses.
I can say it.
So. But
makes everything a little uneasy.
Yeah, so now you're down another starter. So you're down 4 starters from where we were, and then we've moved 2 positions. So that's 6 different guys in positions on offense than what we had the first 4 weeks of the season.
That's just crazy.
It's crazy. So is there going to be struggles? Yes. I mean, we haven't scored a point in 6 quarters, and it's got a lot to do with some of those things. And we're not playing well at some of the other positions as well. You know, we've worked fanatically on our pass game this offseason, and it is not clicking right now.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're 6 for 25 in the last 2 games. Now, did the weather Friday affect everybody on the field's ability to pass, Pulaski's included? Yes, it did. But
especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning was very different for them compared to the rest of the game. I think you all really unsettled them at the beginning.
We played outstanding defensively.
Yes.
This is by far the best defensive game we've played. Our offense put our defense in bad positions. We gave them great field position. The entire game they played from the 35 in. I mean, if you only have a 35-yard field, you're going to score 35 points.
Yeah.
Their offense ran 82 plays. Our offense ran 40. There was a period in the second half where we didn't have a first down other than the first drive of the third quarter. We had one first down in the second half. You're not going to win a football game like that.
No.
There was a period in the game where Ken Cole had an interception down when we were backed up against the goal line. Brings it out. We fumble the next play. Fumbled snaps, interceptions, fumbles by the running backs. Aaron Sipple got called for a fumble. He was absolutely down, but they gave them the ball back. But that's the thing. We can't turn the ball over regardless. The ball was on the ground way too much, and anybody that's been around this game for a long period of time, if you give the ball back to the other team, you're going to lose. So, we were down 13-0 at halftime with, I think, three turnovers in the first half. If we don't turn the ball over, we're in this football game. And there's no question that we can play with that team. It's a good team, absolutely. But we shot ourselves in the foot all night. Fumbled snaps, bad snaps on punts, things that, guys who have been snapping all year have to put that snap on them. I don't care if it's wet. Everybody in the state of Kentucky played in those same conditions on Friday night.
Yes, they did.
All right, so you've got to be able to do that, and that's where guys that haven't had to be the guy has to step up.
Yeah. If
we're going to move forward and win football games.
Well, and the thing is it was Pulaski County. They're ranked. You would have had to have almost played a perfect game with Damien out. I mean, it would have had to have gone flawlessly.
Yeah, but
and there was just too many mistakes.
But we didn't play perfect in the first half. We're down 13-0.
Yeah.
I mean, if we come out and score the first series in the second half, we're right back in that football game. And there were periods throughout the game where we did move the ball well. And then we'd end up with a holding call or a false start or a fumble.
Yeah.
We were behind the sticks all night long.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times we were at 3rd and 15, and then we're trying to call a play not to turn the ball over again.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of things that went against us in that game as far as turnovers goes. Absolutely.
Well, the final score of the game was 35-0. Of course, I'm sure you don't like to hear that, but like I said, they are 7-0. You're now 5-2.
Yep.
Your thoughts about being 5-2 and going into the next 2 games?
Well, I know this, and I've said this for a long time. We play in the best district in 5A, most competitive. And, there's a reason there's 4 teams in our district ranked, 4 or 5 of us ranked in the top 10.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's competitive. This week's no different. We play North Laurel. North Laurel had opportunities, and some would argue should have beat Pulaski. There was a couple calls.
And it was a close game.
There was a call that was questionable about a backwards pass in that game that changes the outcome of that game. So, absolutely. Is it going to be easy to win from here on out? No. We're going to have to fight to win a game right now. And I think what you run into is you have kids that thought they were going to watch. A lot of kids thought they were going to watch this year, watch the team be good or having to play now. And those kids not only are having to play, they're having to play to the standards of a team that was 5-0. And you have 2 choices. You can either pack it all up and go home, or you can try to fight and try to find a way and do what you have to do to work to get to that point. And that's what we're trying to push through right now. Some of them are a little shell-shocked they're in that position still. They really are. There are some that are going to step up, and you can tell by the way they're progressing. So we're going to keep fighting. Our defense is playing a lot better. Ken Cole, moving him from outside linebacker. He was playing back up behind Jyrod and Carter Smith, and Kane's been a good football player for us. He just wasn't pushing through with those guys. He was a little small at outside backer. We moved him to safety. It was a great decision. He had 2 picks his first game at safety. So we're still tinkering with stuff to find the best fits for our team with the personnel we have right now. A lot of people have asked, well, why don't you change what you're doing if everything was designed around Damien offensively? It's not that easy. You can't in high school. We don't have 10 hours a day to practice with these kids to teach them a whole new offense. We are tweaking things within our system as best we can, but you can't just fold up everything you've done and do something completely different in this short of time. It's not realistic.
Yeah, because it's not like you're in the beginning of your season.
Absolutely. And it's not like Damien's out for the rest of his career either.
That was going to be my next
assuming
question.
we make the playoffs, he fits right back in where he was. And, to be honest, our offensive line probably played its best game up front as a whole as we have all year Friday. There were some good things we did. There were some mistakes too, but we're always going to have mistakes because, again, we've got a right tackle who's not played tackle much. We've got some young guys in there on the line. We had a center that hasn't played a snap of varsity finish the game out for us in the last quarter. You're going to have mistakes when those things happen.
True.
So, considering where we were, it was probably as good a game as we've played up front. I would argue to say that, some of those creases that the young guys don't quite find yet, or they find for 10, Damien's sitting on the sideline going, "Oh man," that's my hole right there. So, but we've got to make the playoffs first.
Yeah.
We're in a 6-team district, so we've got to win. We've got to win another one.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I definitely want to get into all the fanciness of ESPN being here. So your thoughts on that, your team's thoughts on that, the school's thoughts on that, and just some of the feedback that you've gotten from some of the parents and just being the coach and more of your thoughts. All right? All right, we'll be right back with Coach John Clark Show.
A special thank you to our great sponsors: Jack Burford Chevrolet, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel, Luxury Pets, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, Faith Created, Assembly of God Church, ScenicCabin.com, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, give Sean a call, Tatum Enterprises, Richmond Tourism, WKYT.com, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, First Gear, Prosigns, Berea Online, and Rosenbaum Communications. Madison County School Sports is proud to have Journey Auto and Boat Sales as the official sponsor of the Madison Central Marching Band on MCS TV. This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea.
Welcome back to MadisonCountySchoolSports.com. I'm here with Coach John Clark. We are here for his Coach John Clark Show. Of course, he's the head coach of the Madison Southern Eagles football team. I'm Samantha Burford, and we're here at Cumberland Valley National Bank. And before he gives you another bank joke, we're going to go right into talking about the big ESPN game.
Sure.
So, like I mentioned just a minute ago, it's a proud time for everyone on your team, for your coaching staff, for you, for your family, and for the citizens of Berea. I mean, how fantastic was it to have these big trucks, a nationally
it was pretty
televised game
neat.
roll in here?
I went home and I actually watched the game twice that night.
You did?
Yeah, afterwards. I usually do that anyway, but instead of waiting for it to be loaded on the computer, I decided to go ahead and watch it on TV.
Right.
They did a great job of televising the game. I think our program looked good on national television, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Outcome you want? Absolutely not. But when you're as young as we are, it is what it is. I mean,
right.
You know
how exciting all the freshmen and just the typical younger men of your team, the freshmen, the sophomores that aren't used to playing, got on national television.
I mean, last year, Nate Eads was playing at Ferristown. Carter Smith was playing at Foley. Landon Stacy, who is our freshman quarterback, had his first rep of varsity on national television Friday night.
Yes.
And I think he was probably scared to death.
Yes.
So,
I would have been.
You think about right there's 3 freshmen that all carried the football, and Nate and Carter are playing both ways. Those are 2 freshmen playing both ways for our team right now.
Wow.
A.J. Richardson had he had 9 carries for 42 yards, was our leading rusher in the game. A.J. has not played a whole lot of varsity football this time. He's only a sophomore, so you take all these young guys that haven't played a whole lot and you throw them into that kind of setting. I thought our kids handled themselves with the atmosphere very, very, very well.
Right. That's fantastic.
I really
I will tell you this, being on social media, parents recorded the game, which, like you said, you've recorded the game. They are putting on social media pictures where they've stopped their TVs, taken a picture, and said, look, my child was on television.
Yeah, what a cool experience.
It's fantastic.
Very cool experience for the kids. It's something they'll remember the rest of their lives.
Yes.
You know, I felt for, you know, you got to mention this. I felt for Damien Friday night. I mean, he was really looking forward to not only playing against Pulaski, but on a stage like that. You know? And everybody, all of us that have seen him play this season, warranted for him to play on a stage like that.
He deserves that. You know?
He's a very special football player right now. He's always been good. I think he's playing very special right now. So, hated that for him.
Yeah.
He handled himself very well.
And they interviewed him.
Absolutely. But I think he's got a future in commentating potentially. What do you think?
I thought he did rather nicely.
I think he does an outstanding job.
Yeah.
You know, the first email I got, my high school football coach is retired, and he lives in Ohio now, and he watched the game. And the first thing he said, you know, obviously I know you guys are disappointed, but he talked about how just well-spoken and how great of a just reflection on the program Damien has become.
Yes.
And he said, just, you know, you don't see a lot of kids with his caliber of ability as down to earth as he is.
And communicate
Absolutely.
The way he does.
And he said what a great reflection it is, not only of that young man, but also your program and the way he talks about the program. And that's pretty neat, you know, because there's a lot of teams out there that do good things in their program that don't have somebody who can stand up and show that as well. And it's not all the program. I mean, his mom's done a great job with him.
Right.
But that's a neat thing.
Yeah.
You know, because people look at him and they see Madison Southern football as well. So.
Well, and when we just interviewed him 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Sitting right
him
here
and
in
Aaron
the seat.
Both.
Yes, they both communicate exceptionally well for their age.
They
and
really
I mean,
do.
I said to Damon before we even began, would you like for me to go over the questions? No, ma'am. You know, I'm happy. Just let's go.
Absolutely.
And he did fantastic, and that's been one of our biggest shows because of both of those young men.
And what a great role model they end up becoming for our younger players. You know, Carter Smith's going to be a great football player. We're going to be talking about Carter Smith for the next 4 years, like Aaron Sipple and Damon Harris were talked about, and Nate Eads and Landon Stacy and some of those young guys that are really going to be dynamic players down the road. And there's some young freshmen that aren't with varsity yet that we think have a chance to be special. They're a very unique class. That being said, they're seeing the right way to handle themselves in these type of settings.
Yes.
So
fantastic role models for this younger generation.
ESPN had a great time. They made it very clear to us they really enjoyed the setup. They said it was first-class hospitality. They felt that the venue and just the way they were taken care of was outstanding, and you know, they felt it was a place that down the road, if, you know, obviously those high school showcase games, those are built by ESPN to drive interest to college football. That's what they do. You know, the purpose of that is they're going to pick the top recruits in the country. They want to feature them on TV, so people will watch those kids in high school and want to follow their career
to the next
watching
level.
College football. That's the whole purpose of them, for people that don't know what that really is.
Right.
And when you watch the game, you realize it is very much a recruiting analyst game. But you get an opportunity to take a game like that, you're crazy not to take it.
Exactly.
Because you get a chance to do that now.
Was there ever a doubt after Damien got hurt the week before? Was there ever a conversation with them?
Well, there was a conversation. You know, as a head football coach who takes pride in the way we handle ourselves, you know, I mean, I know they're there to feature him.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of getting him the recruiting side of it for college football, you know. So I called them. We didn't really know whether he was out on the weekend. I knew, but I wasn't confirmed.
Right.
You know, these kids play on Friday night. They can't get into the doctor till Monday. It's not like college. You have a doctor sitting on the sideline that can tell you, well, you're out 4 to 6 weeks. So I had a really good idea that he was out 3 to 4 weeks, because I had that same injury he has in college. I was out 3.5 weeks. I was very familiar with that injury over the years in coaching. So assuming there was nothing else wrong, that's kind of what the expectation was, and how sore he was over the weekend. So when we came to Monday and got him checked out, I called them right away to let them know. They already knew. I mean, they follow. They've researched everything about your program. So they knew the injury took place, and they appreciated us being honest, and they said, well, you know, we're going to be there.
We're still coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what people don't realize, you know, I had like 100 people ask me,
Yeah.
well, the game's canceled now, right? They have no idea how long it takes to prepare these games.
Exactly.
The amount of work that myself, the administration, all of us have put into preparing that game, people can't even fathom what goes into that. I mean, that's a whole other show in itself.
Well, and they had to send people up early. a whole site committee to come in and
they've got site committees coming in, people that flew in Wednesday, Thursday. I had already had signage and stuff shipped to me that's been sitting in our hallway for a week, long before anything. I mean, it's not that easy just to say.
They just don't roll in on Friday
Yeah, they can
morning.
just say, hey, all right, this game's not worth viewing now. We're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know,
people don't understand that side of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we do with the cameras.
Yeah,
and know
you guys
all
understand
the
production side, but it's not a simple thing.
Right.
So they tried to feature. I mean, obviously they're still going to feature him, and we made sure that they were able to do that with the halftime interview and stuff. That was in agreement with his mom and him, and that was great. I thought it was a good thing for him and a good thing for the program and a great thing for ESPN because they got a chance to talk with him.
Exactly.
You know, so and the first thing they said is this. I mean, he's not the first big-time recruit to ever not play on national television because he got hurt.
Exactly.
You know, this happens all the time. The #1 defensive end in the country, I think, broke his leg this year, and they were supposed to feature him, and he wasn't able to play. So they're used to it. They understand.
Wouldn't it have been fantastic if they could have come? Now I'm just going to wide open say this, to the Central game. It was packed stadium, beautiful weather, lots of people.
Wasn't that easy though? It had to fit a certain slot.
You're right.
And,
it did.
And there were some games that they tried to put us in that would have moved us out of state or some of those things, but they were games that you know, it's funny to say this now when you get beat 35-0 on national television. There were games that weren't good matchups for us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you just, you know, you don't think.
Well, you have to find another.
You don't
team
think you're going to be down 3 or 4 starters going into this game anyway, so you just don't really know.
When you got to find a team that's willing to play too on national television.
Right, and there were some teams they wanted us to play that were not good options for our football program at the time.
It has to be the right
It's
way.
got
It's got to be a lot of things that
situation.
come together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as far as the administration, what all happened that week?
Well, there's all kinds of interviews about, you know, it's funny, they interview your team and you guys about all this stuff, and then they decide what to show, and they end up not showing any of it.
Oh, they didn't?
Not a lot of it, no. But, you know, that's interesting to me how there were a lot of things I thought they were going to do that they never did at all at the game. So I think that's interesting how they choose what they're going to feature and what they're not.
Right.
You know, you really watch the game. You know, a lot of people, I've had people come to me and say, well, we're surprised that they didn't cover a whole lot about the program. We thought they'd go into more details about some of the kids in the but I mean, you have to understand what the purpose of that game is. It's to promote recruiting for college football purposes, to increase college football viewing.
Right.
So I was glad they did talk about our character and leadership program. That's something that we talk about constantly, that we're very proud of. So I was really excited, and they were impressed with that, so they wanted to feature that too.
That's good.
So that was a pretty neat thing that I was happy that they did as well. But they said the venue and everything they thought was a great setup. So
aren't you excited?
Yeah, I mean it was a good.
It's a bad loss, but past all that.
Well, and you know, I think the situations like Kane Cole is a young man that 2 weeks ago had very limited playing time. Here he starts his first game at safety because we're not getting the safety play we need. We give him a shot at a position. He had a great week of practice. He goes in and plays, and he has 2 interceptions on national television. I mean, I don't know about – I'm going to remember Kane Cole having 2 interceptions on national television the rest of my life. So I can imagine he's going to as well.
Exactly.
You know?
And so will his parents.
And that's neat. And you know, Logan Coomer played an outstanding game. You know, when I go back and watch the game on TV, you know, it excites me to hear Logan's name so much because Logan's an outstanding player and he's a defensive lineman and they don't get a ton of publicity. Is he a sack machine? No. Does he do what he's coached to do within our system very, very well? Yeah, he does. Mm-hmm. And I love that they notice those things because that's stuff that I think the average everyday person sitting in the stands doesn't see Logan Coomer doing what he's doing. And Logan Coomer was flushing the quarterback and he was making plays and he was doing what we ask him to do. Mm-hmm. So those kind of things I think are really cool. So that was neat. You know, it'll be interesting to look back in 4 years, you know, 4 years from now at the freshmen that are playing. And they're going to look back and say, God, you know, they're going to laugh and say, I was so terrible when I played on national television.
Or I was so much smaller.
Oh yeah.
Or,
I mean, there's no question. I mean, Damian was 100, or Aaron Sipple was 155 pounds his freshman year. You know, and you look at him now.
Look at him now.
You know, Damian was like 170, and he's like 210. So I can just see, you know, Nate Eads sitting around going, man, I was 185 pounds sitting at 215 pounds by his senior year laughing about it. So I think it's a cool experience. And for our seniors that have put in a ton of work, what a great opportunity for them. J.D. Dean had a chance to show I can make plays on national television. And J.D.'s a guy that, I wish we had a chance to get the ball in his hands more. Pass game was non-existent. But J.D.'s a guy that recruiting right now, people are looking at him. And you want him and Aaron Sipple to have an opportunity to really show what they can do. And, neither one of them are 100%. Aaron Sipple's not 100% right now either. And so you look at where we were at the start of the season. Now, not are we only down starters, but when your best players aren't 100% either, and it's obvious when you watch them play, you can tell Aaron's not 100%. So, and I hate that for those guys, but they're playing through doing the best they can.
All right. So, Coach, tell us your thoughts on moving forward. Let's get into, do you think after this big loss, you've got, like you just mentioned, the majority of your teams either injured, hurt, out for the rest of the season?
The majority of the guys who have been older, experienced starters.
Right.
And that's what hurts.
So how's the confidence moving forward?
Good question.
Into these next 2
I don't
games?
know yet. I'd say it's shaky right now. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the confidence of our team is we feel great about where we are.
Right.
Because you don't have a lot of guys who are leaders in roles right now to step up and say we're fine. We have holes on offense right now that we're trying to fill. And some of the holes are where leadership and a lot of John Lamb has played varsity for 3 years. Damien's played varsity for 4 years. Hutch Howard's one of our strongest linemen. Austin Beetlestone was probably our best receiving tight end that's had to move to tackle. These are hard holes to fill. John Lamb is the best blocking receiver. Him and J.D. Dean are the 2 best blocking receivers we've ever had. Losing John's going to hurt way more in the run game than anybody can even imagine. So, I don't know. That's a good question.
So what will you and your staff do?
We're going to do what we've always done.
So keep the schedule the same, of course.
We've done the same thing for 4 years. We had a team 4 years ago that had no confidence, that lacked experience, that was young. 4 years ago. And you know what? We suffered through some tough games. And we ended up 10-2 last year with a lot of seniors, and our defense was outstanding. We were senior heavy on defense. And a lot of kids went to play college football from that team. We're gonna weather the storm. We'll be okay. We're plugging to find ways to get the ball in our playmakers' hands. We have to play better offensively. Our defense is playing well enough right now for us to win games. You look at that and say, how? You just gave up 35 points. Well, they played with a 30-yard field the whole game.
Yes.
If we field position, if we could actually catch a punt and pin them deep, play a little defense. If we can sustain a drive and get a first down in the second half of the ball game, we might actually have a chance to do something.
Well, and in your last interview, we talked about the defense, that it wasn't.
It is drastically improving.
And how much better it
Absolutely.
was this past week. They had the best defensive game
And
they've
if you
had all
remember
year.
back to like Dunbar, we talked about how, in Central even, we talked about how our defense is young. It will be a different defense at the end of the year than it is at the beginning. And for the most part, our defense, injury-wise, is still intact. Our defense has not been picked. Aaron's not 100% healthy, and we're working to try to get him healthy, but he's playing through it. But other than that, they're doing a good job, and they're getting better. And our defense right now is light years ahead of where it was 5 weeks ago. We know that. We have more confidence in our defense's ability to get stops right now than we ever have. So internally within our team, we know that's not the problem right now. We held Pulaski to 13 points in the first half of the game where they had the ball on our side of the field the entire half. So if you can do that, they got tired. When you're on the field 82 plays, you're going to wear down. That's going to happen. So our defense is going to be okay. We've got to get a little more stout against the run. We have some young guys. We have a sophomore D lineman. We've got juniors on the D line. We're a younger team. They're getting better. Offensively, we can't turn the ball over. If we can not turn the ball over and play good defense, you have a chance to win a game or two. And we've got guys that can do good things on the field. We cannot. There were times we moved the ball. We cannot turn the ball over because we do not have the ability offensively right now with the lack of experience on the field to overcome long yardage situations. We're not going to be able to do that.
Well, and I can tell by your demeanor today, much different atmosphere than the last time. More serious. We're getting into more serious territory as far as getting closer to the end of the season, and
we've
it's
got
just
to
a different ball game right now.
You go from, and this is high school football. Not a lot of high school football teams have depth. You know, you go from being where you feel like you're a contender at some point to in 2 weeks you're sitting there going, what do we need to do to make the playoffs? You know, we're going to get some of these guys back if we do. All of them, no. Some of them, yes. Some key pieces, yes. So if we can find a way to put together some offensive yards right now, and again, we've got to throw the ball better. None of this matters.
So it makes me wonder, like Boyle County, they're going to have to watch the ESPN game. They're going to have to go back and watch some of Damien's game. They don't know if he's going to be back in by then.
Well, and I don't know either.
Right.
You know.
So they're learning
absolutely.
both of your
absolutely
your different styles.
And you know, our style's still the same, but I mean, this week we're gonna have a lot of new wrinkles in our offense this week.
Yeah.
To fit some, you know, going into last week, our game plan offensively was 50-50 run pass. We ran the ball 30 times. We threw 10. That's not 50-50.
No.
But you can't be 50-50 when you're trying to throw the ball, and every time we try to throw it, the ball weighs 10 pounds, and we can't get it downfield, or we can't hang on to it, or it's so wet we couldn't do anything with it. So did the weather affect our game plan? Sure. Should it? No. But when you're not used to being a 50-50 team, and you're not used to having to throw the ball, is it going to affect you? Yes, it is. So it affected our run game. And
you guys haven't played in conditions like that before. A downpour. I mean,
that was the hardest rain we've ever played in since I've been here.
It's sprinkled before.
It affected them too.
Yeah.
There's no question it affected them too. It affected everybody. It was rough conditions.
And for a big game like this, you didn't really have the biggest crowd there either. So I'm guessing the majority of people stayed out of the weather.
Sure.
Watched it on television.
But we're not a team that, you know, what conditions like that you'd like to line up and pound people. We're not a team that's designed to do that. That's not the way we're designed. That's not what our personnel is. We're 230 across the offensive line. We're not 280. You know, our backs are 170 pounds right now, and they're young. They don't have the frame on their body to be a 170 guy that just pounds the ball. So we need to be able to throw the football.
So going forward, North Laurel this weekend. Give me
Good
your
team.
word. Give me your word first on the word of the week going into North
Vitality is the word of the week. You know,
Okay.
we're talking about just enduring strength of mind and of body. You know, just because we need that right now. You know, and it's the mental side more than anything. We need young guys to believe they can be
playing like
older guys.
seniors.
Yeah, and that's hard. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do. But I know this. I know that we wouldn't put them in there if they weren't the best option. I know that they can make plays. And it's not all young guys. We've got older guys that need to make plays too. So we got older guys that haven't had to carry the load. They're going to have to carry the load now, and they have to embrace that. If they do that, and our team continues to work and not look at the overall, we've lost 2 in a row, but if they look at 1 week at a time, 1 play at a time, 1 practice at a time, if we do that, we should be fine. But they've got to be willing to do that.
Okay, so now I interrupted you with the word of the week, but I know you want to tell us about North Laurel. So give us your thoughts on that, because they did lose to Pulaski and Southwestern at close games. So when, you know.
Either game, they could have won.
Yes, it was by 2 points and 1 point. So both those games.
They could have won either game. And I mentioned earlier about a play, it might have been against Southwestern actually, that they lost. I think it was the Southwestern game they lost on a play that could have gone either way in a call, not the Pulaski game. But you're talking, Pulaski had them down 13-0 at half, and then they held them scoreless the whole second half. North Laurel is a very sound defensive team. They're very physical. All right, you know, coaches talk. They played Knox Central earlier in the year. Knox Central is one of the most physical football teams historically.
Yeah, they lost to Knox Central.
They lost to Knox, but it was talking to Knox coaches, a very physical football game.
Okay.
North is a physical team. They got after Pulaski. They got after, you know, they beat Lincoln 20-0 this last week. Just physically dominated the game. All right, so we've got to be ready to mentally handle a physical football game.
Yes.
And we've done that before. You know, we can do that. We just have to be prepared for that. They're bigger than us. Everybody we play is bigger than us. So we got to rely on our speed a little bit, and we've got to be efficient on offense. 3 and 4 yards. 4 yards, if you get 4 yards of play, what's 4 times 3?
12.
12. 10 yards for a first down.
Right.
All right. If not, say we get 3 yards of play. What's 3 times 4? 12. We can move the sticks.
Exactly.
We're not a team that's used to that. We're designed for big plays.
Exactly.
So we've got to get used to moving the sticks again. Offensively, they pound the football at you. They're going to line up, they're going to grind you down and pound at you. We just got to be physical and stout.
Will Aaron Sloan be back in?
Aaron Sloan is back in, absolutely.
Okay, so he's healthy and he's okay.
Yeah, Sloan's been healthy.
Okay, so he's not been one that's been out, just the center.
Yeah, Sloan's
Okay.
Sloan's healthy.
I thought I heard you mention earlier that he had been out.
No, we took him out. We take him out periodically to put in another guy for a certain package.
Okay, my bad.
Absolutely,
My bad.
but he's healthy.
All right, that's a bonus.
Yeah, yeah. We just got to throw the ball better.
Right.
We got to throw better. We got to catch the ball better. But yeah, am I glad that we still have our starting quarterback? Absolutely, absolutely.
Right here, knocking on wood.
Absolutely.
And if something happens this week, you're gonna be right all over me.
Yeah, we need to keep all the starters we have in right now healthy.
Yeah, I'm not wishing anything else. All right.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
That would be. All right, I just threw a loop right in the system.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, before we finish.
I'm like, what do you mean, is he healthy? Is there something I don't know?
No, see,
Okay.
I scared you. I did not mean to scare you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about
The doors
it right
are
now.
locked in the bank. We're good.
Okay, good.
Nothing else frightening. All right. Anything else before we finish?
No, we're good. Just I just encourage people to come out. Don't give up on us. Keep coming out because we're doing good things. We're gonna be fine.
How long is the drive to North Laurel? Just an hour, so 50 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yeah, so come on out. It's not that far.
Absolutely.
And I believe the weather's supposed to be good Friday night, so.
You heard that because I heard rain. It's been raining all week. I heard rain all week, so we'll see. Not to scare anybody away. You can't watch this one at home on TV, so come on out. So.
Oh, I thought it was rain in the morning and clear up, but okay.
And last time we played at North Laurel, now a lot of our fans won't know this, was our first year here. It was our first road win in like 15 years. Not 15 years, but it was a long time. It was like 6 years since our first road win.
I do remember that.
And it was a great game in that atmosphere there. I mean, it was just probably one of the most memorable atmosphere games we've had. And they're a football place now. Their fans are fired up, and they know they've got a good team. So we need our fans to be there. Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Coach?
That's it.
Well, thanks for coming.
Appreciate
So we
it.
won't do this. You've got how many away games coming up?
Well, we're away this week, and then we're home the senior week against Lincoln County.
Senior night. So we're prepared for that. Anything special you guys want to do for that? You bring out the parents?
Yeah,
and
we always, honor our seniors like we have in the past. It'll be the same kind of scenario.
So maybe after that game you could bring some of them in. How many do you have this year?
I don't remember.
Too many to
it's
name.
like 16 or something of that
Okay,
nature.
we can.
So
We could have them standing around the
Yeah.
bank. I don't know.
we'll
make it work,
we'll
right?
figure it out.
We'll figure it out. All right, Coach. Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right. And we'll see Coach Clark in 2 more weeks. But in the meantime, good luck at the next game. And thanks for watching MadisonCountySchoolSports.com. I'm Samantha Burford. And on behalf of John Clark, thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the head coach John Clark show of Madison Southern Eagles.
If you want to learn about these guys, tune in to Madison County School Sports Television. Let's go.
Madison County School Sports is proud to have Journey Auto and Boat Sales as the official sponsor of the Madison Central Marching Band on MCS TV. A special thank you to our great sponsors: Jack Burford Chevrolet, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel, Luxury Pets, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, Faith Created, Assembly of God Church, ScenicCabin.com, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, give Sean a call, Tatum Enterprises, Richmond Tourism, WKYT.com, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, First Gear, Prosigns, Berea Online, and Rosenbaum Communications. Madison County School Sports is proud to have Journey Auto and Boat Sales as the official sponsor of the Madison Central Marching Band on MCS TV. This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea.
Oh, there you go. You got time. Go right.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter. Or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. The following is in smokeless tobacco: cadmium, formaldehyde, lead, nicotine, nitrosamines, polonium-210, hydrazine, benzopyrene, and uranium-235. Don't be a dip. Don't dip.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, the definition of binge drinking is having 5 drinks over the course of 2 hours. When done excessively, this may eventually lead to memory loss, unwanted pregnancy, and sexually transmitted diseases, cancer, excessive vomiting, alcohol poisoning, and possibly death.
Nathan, can you hear me?
If you don't want to swallow any of this, chances are the next tube you put in your mouth won't be a good time. For more information on binge drinking, please visit the Centers for Disease Control website at www.cdc.gov.